In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to get your non-medical home care agency license submitted for Florida and what the requirements are. So I'm going to do a deep dive today on the requirements for your home care agency license for the state of Florida. I have been getting some requests on doing these videos per state, and I will be starting up a series starting today on what the licensing requirements are for that state. For those of you visiting, thank you for coming back. I appreciate the support, and I'll continue to be making these videos. For those of you that do not know me yet, my name is Scott McKenzie, and I am the founder of Golden Age Companions, a non-medical home care agency based in Irvine, California. We have been in business since 2011 and have generated over $8 million in total revenue. I also have a company called Home Care Agency Blueprint, which is designed to help you start, scale, and grow your very own home care business. It is not a franchise, it is a course coupled with coaching, and it is something that I developed to help get this business model out there in a cost-effective way that really is reachable to most people. Alrighty, so jumping in here for the Florida licensing application, I had made a guide here in regards to really kind of like a cheat sheet on, and I will also put this in the description below for download. I made this step-by-step guide. This is an overview. Keep in mind that there's a lot more that goes into what it, when it comes down to getting the insurances and just setting up the infrastructure of the entity, and that's what my program helps you with. At Home Care Agency Blueprint, we help you put that infrastructure together. At the same time, I'm going to provide as much information as I can so you can have a good overview of what Florida looks like for getting your license. And keep in mind, this is for a homemaker and companion services provider. Home health, the requirements are slightly different. I know also from what I was researching on Florida, if you have multiple locations or you're opening up multiple locations, you must have a proof of financial ability to operate. That's a new thing. I didn't even know about that until, I guess that's a Florida thing, because over here in California, I don't think we have something like that. So that's just something I found in the research. And keep in mind, this is the most updated. Here we are, March 2024. The most updated information on their website is from August of 2023. So as far as how Florida works, the great news is the fee's only $50.75 to submit the application, and the time to process is anywhere from a few weeks to a few months, just depending on how complete your application is and if there's any other adjustments and corrections, and then also the season of when you do submit your application, how many that they have in process that needs to be processed ahead of yours. So that's just something to think about. Now, Florida does have electronic submission, which is really nice. You can go right on their website and create a profile, and I will put all these links in the bottom of this guide here as resources so you can access this. So the online licensing system, you register here, and this is basically for home health. It's for, everything. Hospitals, hospice, nursing homes, they all go through the same portal. And there's an instruction guide here you can download as well. It looks like they even have like licensing videos that you can watch if you have some problem like registering the portal or adding supporting documents. Now, when you do go ahead and make so they give a guide here on what it looks like to sign in to the application. You've got to get program access, and then when you just follow the steps to fill out the information on what type of provider. So say for this, it's home, essentially non-medical home care. And yeah, you just simply follow the steps. This looks like it's like all for their electronic stuff. And then this is how you can fill out pretty much the entire application. Now I'm going to go through what the application actually looks like. So this is just, I'm kind of showing you what they display on their site. It's really nice that you can submit this stuff online though. So here's like what the portal looks like to log in. All right, so one of the things that it goes over in the application, here is an attachment here of what the application looks like. And it's a little confusing because it says healthcare licensing application and then homemaker and companion services provider. It's just the way they word it, so don't let that confuse you. This is a homemaker and companion service application. So just, you know, that's just something I wanted to mention. Now it says here this like term for like 60 days, you know, applications must be received at least 60 days prior to the expiration of the current registration or effective date of change of ownership to avoid a late fee. So this is referring to, it looks like a renewal. And then it also says here the application will be withdrawn from review if all required documents and fees are not included with your application or received within 21 days of the omission notice. So that's something just to think about. Make sure that you're timely when they're asking for corrections on the documents to get those right back to them so they don't withdraw your application. So it looks like that's a key thing, that 21 days when you submit the application. This is, so for provider information, this is pretty basic. It's the name of your home care agency, the address, you know, if you have a company email address, your company website, property owner information. This is essentially where your landlord, if you're leasing an office space, and yes, you do need to have a physical office space. Florida does require that. So you've got to have at least, I mean, you can get, if you're just starting out your home care business, you can just get like a baby suite for a few $100s a month, as long as it's commercial, and you can get mail there, and there's a locking door to have a file cabinet with all the employee files and everything. They essentially want that so for auditing purposes, if they ever want to come by and check your files, they have a location to go to. So that's what that's for. So they want to know basically who's your landlord. If you own your own building or you own your own property, then that would be you, the contact person, and this is for this application, so that would be you as the owner. Now, if you're like an entity or you're like a partner, or like you have multiple like partners inside of an entity and you're looking to set up, you know, like there's 4 or 5 of you or something running this, then it gets a little more complex. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just talking about you as an owner applying for an application for your own home care agency. So this is like for licensee information. This is basically what your EIN, and that's with Home Care Agency Blueprint. We provide that in our packages. We get you incorporated. And so like, you know, what the mailing address is, phone number, if there's a fax number, if it's what type of entity, is it a corporation, an LLC, a partnership, and, you know, sole proprietor, or just like individual if it's a non-profit. But yeah, likely it'll be one of these, corporation or LLC or partnership. Application fees, that's kind of like self-explanatory. So like if you don't include any check or application fees inside of your package, they will not be processed. So that's something. And then it's asking here, like, is it an initial registration? Or are you renewing a registration? So for the purpose of this video, I'm talking about initial, so you check that off. And then yeah, here's the fee here, $50.75. Controlling interest, this is basically who has 5% or more ownership of the company. If it's you 100% owner, that would just be you here. And then if there's any board members or officers, management company, does the company other than the licensee manage the registered provider? So there's that here. And that's like if there is a company involved, if there's a company having controlling interests. Are there any board members? So keep in mind, if you have board members, that would be you know, for like an incorporation, an LLC doesn't have board members, so that's, you know, pretty basic stuff. Personnel, so this is basically like who's the managing employee, who is the one that's basically going to be in charge and responsible for not only running the home care agency, but like the financial side of things. So being sure that, you know, you put all your information here. And then also the background check. There is a background check that needs to be passed. They have policies on their website. It's pretty much just like anything else. You know, you can't have any felonies or anything on your background that will stop you from being approved. And then it looks like it's asking here like a disclosure. So you gotta like basically, you know, have you ever been convicted of any level 2 offense, blah, blah, blah. So this is more like criminal record statement stuff. Provider fines and financial information. So this is saying the agency may take action against an applicant with applicant if they have failed to pay all outstanding fines, liens, or overpayments assessed by final order of the agency or final order of Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services. So this is if you have like an NPI number and you're billing out Medicare or Medicaid, it looks like that's related to that, which is like a little more complex. If you're a private pay company, then I don't think that, I mean, you wouldn't be billing out Medicare or Medicaid. Geographic area, where is it that you're providing services? Are they multiple cities and counties? Are they just, you know, only a handful? Hours of operation, you know, basically when are you open? Supporting documents. Also, the thing is, like, when you're open for a home care agency, generally, you know, you may get someone that calls you late at night and they're looking to get service for their mom or dad. So like maybe there's someone on call, but when they're referring to hours of operation here, it's more like office hours. So like when someone's actually inside of the office, that's what this is referring to. And then supporting documents, you know, these are basically the application, anything that they are requiring as you go through the application. And honestly, that's why Home Care Agency Blueprint is here, will help you go through this. I'm not going to cover that in this video. I just want to give like an overview. So if you're looking at getting this business, this will give you enough information to know that you want to jump into this business. This is attestation. This is essentially like basically you're stating that everything is true and correct on the application, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. The notes I made in the guide here are, I basically covered everything, so I'm going to attach this guide in the link in the description below. So this just kind of is an overview of what I spoke about. And yeah, that's really everything that you need to know about getting a homemaker, like companion services, home care agency license with Florida. Alrighty, so that is an overview of, and I say overview because I know licensing applications can be pretty complex. There are different parts in it that, you know, when it comes to like getting the insurances, workers' comp, professional general liability, that's got to be included along with your EIN and your physical office address, etc. You know, I know also a lot of licensing firms, meaning like for Florida, they do want to see your, you know, brochure and branding and things like that. So I always attach that in licensing applications on behalf of our students to make sure that they get a approval and that the company knows that this is a legit business. So I know I didn't go over that specifically in the last screen share here. I just wanted to mention that they do like to see your branding, and for some reason I didn't see it in the requirements, but I know that that is something that they want to see, a copy of your brochure and branding and logo. Now the insurances, absolutely, you've got to furnish that. You need to have your professional, so it's professional and general liability kind of are 1 and 2 of the same. They're with the same company, and then your workers' compensation insurance is attached as well, and that goes along with, usually your payroll provider can partner with the workers' comp for that. So That's what I want to talk about today. If you did find value in this video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that. And then also, if you're looking at starting up your very own home care agency, there is a link in the description below, and you can book a call with me directly and we can talk about starting up your very own home care business. Thanks so much for coming by. I'll see you in the next video.